In my last video, I tried to predict the Survivor Series Wargames match card, and I completely messed up with the men's Wargames match. I thought the Bloodline Civil War was confirmed, and then, in the last episode of Raw, we saw Sami, Jay, and Jimmy talking about needing a fifth member. So, in today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on who should be the fifth member for both teams. Honestly, I don't even think they need a fifth member here. I think it would be better 4v4, just Bloodline trying to solve their issues. On Raw, we saw Jay asking Rey Mysterio to join them, but it looked like Rey turned them down. Later, Sami asked Seth to join, and he refused too. Then, we saw Solo Sikoa and his Bloodline team outside the building also talking to Seth, and he turned them down as well. Before I get started, I want to mention that next week's Raw is pre-taped, and I didn't spoil it for myself. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started. In my last video, I said Seth would be facing Bronson Reed at Survivor Series. And we got that match, but not at Survivor Series. It's on Raw. When that was announced, I was a little confused, like, why isn't this match at Survivor Series? Later, Sami approached Seth and asked him to join the OG Bloodline at War Games, and from that moment, everything was clear to me. Even though Seth has refused both teams, I think by the time we got to Survivor Series, he'll end up joining Roman's Bloodline team. Now, the question is how and why. This might be a hot take, but I think Solo's Bloodline will cost Seth his victory against Bronson Reed. Like I said in the last video, Bronson needs this win. And if you remember, Jay joined the OG Bloodline because they cost him his Intercontinental title. I mean, he lost it because of Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. And I think it could be the same with Seth. Maybe Solo's Bloodline will distract or attack Seth and he'll lose. So, my final prediction is that Seth will be the fifth member of the OG Bloodline. How this will work, I don't know. Because we all know Seth and Roman have a long history together, and they are not exactly friendly lately. Now let's talk about Solo's Bloodline, where I have a few wrestlers in mind. It could be one of their family members from outside WWE who debuts until Survivor Series. Although Solo is trying to get Seth on his side, I still think Seth will end up with Roman. Here's another hot take. If Solo's Bloodline costs Seth the victory, and if it means that Seth will join Roman's Bloodline, then there is a big chance that Bronson will be the fifth member of the new Bloodline. That way, we'll have two guys who feud with each other, who hate each other on opposite teams. And here's another option I would like to see, even if there is a small chance it'll happen. And that's the final boss, The Rock, as the fifth member. That would make the most sense, but I don't think The Rock would want to be locked inside the cage. That's it for today's video. Leave a like and subscribe. And let me in the comments who you think will be the fifth member for the Bloodline War Games.